The following sequence comes from a game played during a holiday tournament this season. It's a sequence that occurred late in the contest. The team in white is behind and needs a 3-point field goal to tie things up. As we watch the play unfold, white number 21 is coming along the baseline towards the camera and comes off a double screen set by his teammates, numbers 4 and 54. On the play, both of these players hit the floor after being contacted by orange number 1. Shortly after this, number 21 will take another shot from the wing and will fall to the floor after some possible contact by orange defender number 1. While it seems unlikely that some kind of foul didn't occur on this sequence, the purpose of reviewing this clip for officials is twofold. 1. In this play, one of two things could have occurred that may have helped identify any possible fouls. First, the lead official could have rotated over at the beginning of the play once he identified where the ball was going to initially be passed. This would have enabled two officials to be on the initial strong side of the floor. In fact, at one point, the lead will act like he's going to rotate, but doesn't. Too often, lead officials tend to come down on one side of the floor and stay there during an offensive possession. As a lead, officials need to be willing to work the baseline and rotate as often as necessary to allow themselves and their partners to be in the best position to officiate. The second thing that could have occurred to help on this play is that the center official could have moved down closer to the baseline to possibly improve his angle on the initial offensive action. As you'll see, for a good portion of this clip, the center and trail officials are at the same depth on the floor. And while there may be instances in a game where, due to the action on the floor, there may be two leads for a period of time, there shouldn't be two centers. As the play unfolds and the ball returns to white number 21 for a shot from the wing, it's critical that the center, in this case, stays with the shooter all the way through a shot and return to the floor. It's possible that happened here, but with the officials back to the camera, we don't know for sure. It does look like, though, he moves briefly to look at the rebounding action following the shot, which could be an indicator that his vision was following the ball and not the shooter and the defender. Again, whether that happened or not on this specific play isn't the teaching point. The teaching point is to remind officials they need to stay with shooters until those shooters return to the floor to make sure they aren't fouled after the shot has left the shooter's hand. Number 2. The second purpose of reviewing this clip is to also reinforce the necessity of calling violations or fouls whenever they occur. As mentioned, this sequence of action happened at the very end of regulation in a one-possession game. I want to be clear that it is our expectation that when violations or fouls occur, they should be called. Time and situation are not factors that should be considered when deciding whether or not to call something. This notion of letting players decide the outcome is outdated. When officials pass on calls because of the time or situation in a game, they are letting players decide the outcome, but not in the manner they think. As an official, you will never be wrong if you make a call that you see in a contest, irrespective of when that violation or foul occurs. On this play, 3 players hit the floor, all within a few seconds of one another. It seems unlikely that some kind of foul didn't occur, and if so, failure to get one of them did have an impact on how the game ended. And if any of this action would have warranted a call in one of the game's first 3 quarters, it warranted a call at the time it occurred. As we approach the postseason, officials need to have the courage to make calls when they present themselves, even at the end of games. Here's the clip. Let's play it back one more time here. The double screen's forming on the left side of the screen. 21 comes off it. 2 players go down. Ball's going to come onto the rebound. Back to 21. Goes down. Official moves to get an angle on the rebounding.